Alright guys, the title of this clickbaiter's video is, wow, did people pay to watch the Idaho 4 murders? Here we go.
Crime King back.
The Idaho 4 murder was streamed. It was a video. Perhaps it was even pay-per-view. And look, hear me out. I know some people are thinking already, oh, fucking hell, this has gone a little bit too far. And look, it may be that the pay-per-view piece of this is a little bit of a stretch. It may be a little bit of a stretch. But there are things that fall into place. We remember we covered some of the little things that are...
Shut up. Alright guys, I mean, I try and stay away from this dude, right? But again, he literally makes 3 Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger videos a day. And this one is his top viewed video out of all of them. And of course, he's got the biggest clickbait title you could possibly think of, right? I'll repeat it again. Wow, did people pay money to watch the Idaho 4 murders? And the thing is, there's so many Looney Tunes that they're believing this and what he says. Like, the first comment is, this is so much more believable than Bryan Kohberger actually committing the crime, right? I mean, just go look at it. I mean, people actually think that they had video cameras all set up, this was all ready to go, right? I mean, how ridiculous does that sound, right? And people, the Looney Tunes out there, actually believe that this was all, on camera, ready to go, and it's much more believable than Bryan Kohberger sneaking in there with a knife, getting his DNA on the sheath, right? Getting caught on camera, his car, right? Being seen walking out of the house, right? And everything else. But this is more believable than Bryan Kohberger. I mean, I don't know what to say, guys. Anyway, let's hear what this clickbaiter's got to say for himself this time.
And again, yesterday, or this morning, I said about the detail, the devil in the detail.
And I can totally understand why the Gonzalez family, and most likely all of the victims' family, hate this dude, right? Again, I mean, he's literally making these titles just so you guys that are all viewing his videos are paying for everything he does. Oh yeah, this is his full-time job, right? He makes money off of the views that you guys are giving him, right?
There had been Venmo payments sent out. Remember, a funny little, I think it was Jack Katovich had sent a Venmo payment, or his other half had sent one, and it was of about $6, and it was just a timestamp. It was just a timestamp. Well, now we don't know the accuracy of these things. We don't know whether all of these things were done to.
And again, real quick, so he's going to title his video this, right? And watch, we're going to watch the whole 14 minutes, and he's not going to have one single piece of evidence that supports his clickbait fucking title, right? He's not, because there is none, right? Do you honestly believe that let alone a video, right? Somebody that would have been streaming this would obviously have one of them Tor browsers, right, that are on the dark web that cannot be deciphered. They're encrypted, right? I mean, the FBI can't even track them down, right? So you're telling me that not one of these people that supposedly would have watched this video, right? The biggest murder case in who knows how long. Nobody even took a screenshot and put it online, right? Because again, you can do that. There's millions of people out there that know how to put videos and especially pictures online without getting it, traced back to them. Because again, it's encrypted. They know how to use the Tor browsers and all that shit, right? If you actually think about this with more than 2 brain cells, you would know right off the bat this is a complete and utter I got no words.
To offer little hooks that people would latch onto, and we've heard some stories, we've had some people come out, they've all had things to say about the Idaho 4 case. They love it, don't they? Absolutely love it. And we just do this just to remind you, smash that like button or I'll smash you. In a nice way, of course, softly. But yeah, it helps the channel. I don't ask for money and stuff like that, but
oh, he doesn't ask for money, guys. Yeah, well, go back and watch all his earlier videos. He asks for money all the time, right?
Subscribe, a like would be stupendous, marvelous for Monday. But yeah, anyway, look, there are some things that kind of make you think that this does hold some weight. Not only were there the odd little Venmo payments, that again, there could have been something else. It could have been nothing. It could have been for a bit of food. It could have been just...
and this is what Harsh does, right? He says he puts some bites out on one theory. Oh, it could have been this. And then he says, oh, it could have been this, but, he cannot make a decision, right? He plays right down the middle, just enough to appease both groups of people, right? Whether you think Kohberger did it or didn't, he tries to appease everybody, right? But again, his name is Harsh Reality, right? He apparently likes controversy, right? Well, Harsh, you never create any controversy yourself, right? You're too afraid, You should change your name, to be honest with you, man.
Just someone setting something up for people to latch onto early doors because they knew that would look fucking bizarre, especially with the timestamps. Who knows? But. Ann Taylor had made a reference to there being 400 witnesses. 400 witnesses, and people lost their mind, but it very quickly dissipated. It kind of said, people was like, oh, 400 witnesses, and then people forgot about it.
Okay, real quick. So when Ann Taylor is saying there's 400 witnesses, she doesn't mean there was 400 people that witnessed the fucking murder, right? She's talking about altogether people that might have called in during the month that Kohberger was on the run, people that might have seen an Elantra or whatever, all the neighbors next door or talking to the police, because obviously every one of them counts as a witness because, they're whatever they saw or didn't see gets logged and then all the evidence gets turned over to the defense, and then so she has 400 witnesses, but they're not witnesses that actually witnessed the crime. That's just what they're called. Come on, Harsh. I mean, you gotta tell the people the truth, You're just out here again, clickbaiting these people. It's ridiculous. You're a clown, man.
The 400 witnesses, it kind of, when you hear people like, Sansa, talking about the complexity of this case, how complex it is. Complexity in a case like this, there shouldn't really be any complexity. The complexity...
It's really... Time out. It's really not that complicated, right? It's just these clickbaiters are making it complicated. It's very simple. Kohberger walked in the second floor slider. at around 4 o'clock with a big ass knife. Okay, he snuck in their rooms while they were. We know they were drinking, right? Who cares? I don't care if they were high or not. They were drinking. Okay, so and they're in bed. Okay, and then Xana's probably in bed eating with a boyfriend. They're unarmed. Okay, there's nowhere to go once Kohberger blocks the door with a knife. It's very simple. Kohberger stabbed him and then walked out the slider. That's what happened. That's what the evidence shows. It's very simple. But these people, these clickbait YouTubers, they're trying to make it complicated, but it's really not.
Is in the investigation and getting to the person who you feel did the crime. But once that's got, if you've got all the evidence, then the complexity thing then goes off. Especially, like, some people are hell-bent on believing that Brian Kohberger did this crime, let's not forget. And they're basing that.
And the only reason why, you know, a lot of people haven't made their minds up yet is just because there's a gag order, right? And they're just thinking that there might be, like, Harsh is going to say, Bethany has exonerating evidence. Well, don't you think if she really did have exonerating evidence, she would have already came forward and said, hey, I know Brian Kohberger did not commit this crime, this person did, right? And already have told the police, and the police already would have known this, right? And they wouldn't have Brian Kohberger sitting in jail if Bethany or anybody had exonerating evidence towards Brian Kohberger. I mean, if you actually believe that, you're just not that smart. It's just that simple, right? If anybody had exonerating evidence towards Brian Kohberger, he would not be in jail right now. That's the bottom line. Hello? What do you think, they're gonna just save that and just make him sit in jail for no reason when they know he's innocent until the trial? Give me a fucking break, right? And the police would know, hey, Kohberger didn't do it because Bethany has exonerating evidence. It's the stupidest. I mean, this is just so dumb. I get dumber every Harsh video I watch, but I gotta do it because somebody has to call this fucking clown out. I mean, somebody just got to do it. I mean, 42,000 people watched this video, but nobody has made a response calling out the bullshit that it is, except for fucking me. So, I mean, I got to do it.
Off of, they feel that his car was seen in the vicinity of the property. His DNA was found at the scene of the crime.
Yep.
And there's phone evidence, albeit incomplete, evidence that would suggest...
What the fuck do you mean incomplete? No. They have his exact movements from when he left his house all the way until Kohberger gets back to his house. It's complete, right? And if you're going to say incomplete, Harsh, tell us what you mean by that, right? You can't just say, albeit incomplete, and then just move on, right? I mean, that's a big fucking thing to just move on from, right?
Suggest that there's a potential that his phone was not connecting to towers at the time of the crime.
No, there's a potential that Kohberger turned his phone on airplane mode or turned it off. That's what he did, okay? I mean, the FBI, again, the best of the best, they know what he did, okay? It's not just it didn't connect the towers all of a sudden. No, he turned his phone off on purpose because he knew he was going to murder people. Hello? How hard is this to understand, guys? I mean, we can't be making this harder than it is, right?
Or at the time that they are claiming that the crime happened. There's a lot of...
Claiming that the crime happened? So what? The crime happened at a different time now, Harsh? It couldn't have happened at any other time, right? What the hell are you even talking about, man? It only happened between those 10 to 12 minutes. That's when they died, Harsh. Hello?
Little things in the background as well, such as we feel that there's a potential for Bethany Funk to hold exculpatory evidence.
And see, this is what I mean. He just said, and I'll repeat it. If Bethany Funk had exculpatory evidence, she would have told the police. She would have told everybody. She would know Brian Kohberger's innocent. Obviously, she doesn't. She doesn't have any type of evidence. Or Kohberger would not be in jail right now. He would be a free man, and all you guys would be clapping from the heavens. Give me a fucking break.
Which is bizarre in itself. We know that early on that there was talk of the filming group with the camera set up that may or may not have picked up someone running away from 1122 King Road at around, I think it was 1 or 2 a.m. And again, the mention of the 400 witnesses. Steve Gonsalves as well. Steve Gonsalves coming forward and saying that some...
See, Harsh has no idea what he's talking about. He keeps saying, the 400 witnesses, huh? Steve is included in those 400. It's just everybody that said something to the police about the case, okay? Harsh is like thinking that it means there were 400 people at 1122 King Road at 4 in the morning, right? I mean, come on, Harsh. Again, you're in a different country. You have no idea what you're talking about. But you do 3 or 4 videos on this case a fucking day, man. And I'm going to say it again. What the hell are you doing?
I think Gross would be coming out. Now, like it is said in Murder Metal Mayhem's video, when Steve Gonsalves says gross, you automatically go down different rabbit holes as to what he could mean. He could have been talking about the injuries sustained. He could have been talking about some of the things that was going on in the house. But there would be nothing more gross than potential that this was streamed in some manner. But look,
see what I mean, guys. He has no proof, evidence of anything. He just makes this title, right? Just so you guys will click on it. Just to hope and pray that he actually does have something, which you should know by now. He doesn't. He never does. It's all clickbait titles, right? Just ask the Gonsalves family. They figured it out real quick. And good for you guys. Just like I figured it out. And just like the hundreds and thousands of people that watch my videos have figured it out. Harsh Reality is a total clown and a total clickbaiter. That's all he is. He makes these titles. Again, I'll repeat it. Wow. Did people pay to watch the Idaho 4 murders? And again, he has no evidence, nothing to suggest this even remotely, nothing like this happened, okay?
I don't think that's the only option with regards to what would generate 400 witnesses. I do feel that what that would potentially do, if this was the case, and there was 400 witnesses that had seen something on video, there's a potential that would explain why everybody's so damn quiet about everything.
Okay, everybody is so damn quiet about everything because there's a gag order, right? It's not that hard to figure out, guys. But, again, Harsh is just trying to keep you guys believing this stupid narrative so he can keep making these clickbait titles, right? Of course he's not going to say, oh, I know everybody's quiet because there's a gag order, right? But no, he's going to say, oh, it's so suspicious that everybody's been quiet about this case. You know what I mean? Ugh, can't stand this guy.
Like, people have turned around and they've said, oh, it's hard enough to keep one person quiet, let alone keep, 400 people quiet. But I think, on the contrary, if there's a if there's a video going about, or pictures going about of some description, then would people want to bring attention to themselves and get kicked out of the university? For instance, if they went to parents, what would the parents do? Would the parents advise their children to go public with what they know, or would their parents advise them to keep their fucking mouths shut?
Okay, this again proves harsh reality has no idea what he's talking about. So what? He's just implying that it was just regular Idaho University students that weren't on any encrypted devices, just somehow got the inside scoop on where and when and how to watch these Idaho 4 people get murdered, right? So stupid. I mean, if and this did not happen, I'm saying if it did, I'll repeat it again, it would have been on some dark gore website, right? Like on the dark web, okay? And they all would have been using the Tor browsers or something equivalent, okay? That's all encrypted, and there would be no way to get traced back to, okay? So they would, I mean, obviously, they would have no problem sharing at least a screenshot of this would have been the biggest gore video probably in history if this actually was recorded, okay? And it's been so long now, it would be everywhere. It would all, if this actually did happen, at least a screenshot from this video, it would be on the dark web. It would be somewhere on the internet by now. Okay, that's just the fact. It's just facts. I mean, there's so many of these gore websites. People would pay serious, big money if this was actually recorded. Okay, this is just so stupid. I can't believe he actually made a video about this. And if let me tell you something, if one of my family members was murdered in this case, and this guy was saying all this shit and making all these clickbait titles, I would be just as pissed as Steve Gonzalez and oof, you have no idea. I already am pissed, and I don't even have anybody that was involved in this case, but I'm pissed at Harsh, right? Because he's lying to everybody, making these clickbait freaking titles and making money off it. It's just stupid. Don't even know what he's talking about.
I think the latter. I think parents would tell them to keep their mouths shut. I think if
oh yeah, so the 20-year-old kids are going to be watching this murder on video, but yet they're in their 20s and they're going to go ask their mommy and daddies if they should go public with it. Give me a fucking break, Harsh. You sound stupider every time you say something, man.
University has blanket called everybody in and said, look, we know that there's people involved in this. You may have saw pictures, you may have saw videos. I suggest you keep your mouth shut. The police...
Do you know how stupid that sounds? It just really think about that.
Police will interview people. They've obviously interviewed, they've said that they've interviewed, what was it, 90 people, or done 90 interviews? But look, it may not have been that this was some sort of pay-per-view snuff film, for instance, but what if there was other things caught on camera? What if, when they eventually went to the house, before law enforcement was called, people were taking photographs or taking videos of it inside the house? And how many people did that then get out?
Okay, That's a big difference then. Did people pay to watch the Idaho 4 murders? That's a huge difference than what the title of your video is, Harsh. Okay? Now, if you would have said, did one of the roommates or somebody that went in snap a picture before the police got there, that would be much more believable than you titling this video, did people pay to watch the Idaho 4 murders? Okay? I mean, who knows? Maybe whoever went in there, you know, I'm not gonna speculate because I don't know exactly. I'm not going to say, but did somebody or even a policeman snap a picture of one of the dead bodies? That's possible. I can believe that. And I can also believe that if that did happen, it still proves, I mean, it doesn't prove anybody else did it except Kohberger. And you know what I mean? But that's a huge difference and stretch than the clickbait title of what Harsh titled this video, right? And obviously, if a policeman or one of the roommates did snap a picture, obviously they're not going to share that because that's not encrypted, and obviously they would get in huge trouble, right? But again, that is a whole different. That's in a whole different, you know, state or country than the title of this video, right? That's what I mean about clickbait. That's all this is.
We've been kind of told that there was potentially a conversation on Snapchat, and that had kind of exploded around sort of 8:30 to 9 o'clock on that morning. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that there is a video, that there is some degree.
A video of what? I mean, you're going from did people pay to watch the murders to then you're saying did people come in afterwards and snap a picture of the dead bodies? Okay, two different things, Harsh. And again, you named your title of the video, did people pay to watch the murders? What the fuck are you talking about? If you're going to name your video that, then talk about that, right? I can't stand this guy. That's all I can handle for today. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think this is just disgusting. Obviously, he didn't have any information at all. It's just another clickbait video that over 40,000 people watched because of the clickbait title. And Harsh should just be ashamed of himself. And you know, he's a narcissist, so he doesn't care. He just doesn't. And for some reason, a lot of you are believing this shit that he says. Some of you actually think that it's more believable that this happened, that Brian Kohberger going in there and leaving his DNA and being on camera. It's just ridiculous. Looney Tunes. Anyway, thanks to you common sense people out there. And until next time, True Crime King out.